Hello, everyone, and thank you so much for joining us today on Teens Talk Television. Our topic today is HBCUs versus PWI. We are so excited to have all of you here with us today. So we're going to go ahead and have everybody introduce themselves. We're going to start with Ariel, then we'll go through the rest of our ladies, and then we'll have Andrew or Drew start with our guys. So Ariel, you can kick it off for us. Kind of like your name, your college, and where you're from and your major.
Okay, hi everyone. My name is Ariel Wright. I currently attend Morgan State University in Baltimore, Maryland. I'm a biology major and I'm from PG County, Maryland.
Hi, my name is Damaris Moore. I am an advertising major at Howard University in DC, and I am from Waldorf, Maryland.
Hi, everyone. I'm Delaney Haggins. I am a senior this fall at Montclair State University, a major in business administration for concentration in marketing, and I am from Ellicott City, Maryland.
Hey, everybody. My name is Andrew Adiolu. I'm a multi-platform production major, and I'm from PG County, Maryland. And I attend Morgan State University, so I forgot to add that.
What's up, y'all? I'm David. I go to Towson University. I switched majors from nursing, so right now I'm in healthcare administration, and I'm from Silver Spring, Maryland.
Hi, everyone. My name is Justin Henry. I currently attend Virginia Commonwealth University in Richmond. I'm a double major in graphic design and communication arts, and I'm originally from Haymarket, Virginia.
Awesome. And no one asked, but I am a senior TV and film major at Howard University from Prince George's County. So thank you guys for being here. We're going to jump right into it. So this is going to be kind of a lot just because there's a lot of us, but go with the flow. But the first question for those of you who go to a PWI or did you consider HBCU or the other way around? So did anybody have a hard time picking between the two? If so, you can come off mute and explain your decision.
I definitely want to take that one because I was not supposed to end up at a PWI. That was not my original plan. So back when it was like 2020, I'm class of 2020. So COVID was kind of like just starting to ramp up a little bit. So I was supposed to go to Florida A&M University, and it was kind of crazy with COVID and everything. I thought it was going to get shut down. I didn't want to pay that big like out-of-state tuition if I was just going to be sitting at home on a laptop doing like online school. So I just ended up just going to Towson, and then I guess I just never switched. So I'm just here.
For me, it was a little bit difficult. Mostly because it had to do with my major, which when I was applying for colleges was graphic design. And so finding a lot of schools with graphic design in general was hard, but I was also willing to change my major to attend Howard. And I applied to Howard and I applied to North Carolina A&T as well, along with Hampton University. And so for me, it was mostly I had to find a spot where I was also going to feel comfortable and still have my major at the same time. And that's what I got with VCU. It's a very diverse school and I feel very welcomed and appreciated being a Black man, even though I'm, at a PWI.
It was always my plan to go to a HBCU. I definitely also looked at Towson. I looked at Towson, applied at Towson, but 90% of the schools I applied to were HBCUs. I just always knew I wanted that kind of experience, growing up watching the movies Drumline, all that kind of thing. I knew that's always a different world, really was what it was, a different world. I was like, I gotta have that experience. I need it for real. So, and then also, I actually was interested in theater arts. I did theater arts my entire high school career. And so I originally was looking majorly at Howard for that program, obviously, for obvious reasons and stuff. Well, maybe not so obvious, the alumni, I guess, in the program and things like that. So, yeah, I'm very happy with my decision. if anything were to happen where I had to transfer, I would probably transfer to a HBCU. I just feel like for me, my major is advertising under communications. So I really much enjoy, I enjoy that major. I was marketing before, so I kind of want to stay within that if I was to switch anywhere. So, for me, it wasn't a super, specific major where I had to look at a certain number of schools. So.
For me personally, I always been around a diverse environment. So for me, I actually didn't apply to any HBCUs. I have nothing against HBCUs. My mom is a proud Spelman alumni, so she is hardcore HBCU. And I actually grew up going to the Howard and Morehouse Classics growing up. I always enjoyed my experience. So I definitely would have wished that I applied to an HBCU, but I will say that my experience going to PWI has been enjoyable, only because my school, they value their students that are Black, African American, or Haitian. They do a lot for the Black community. So I really appreciate that. I feel welcomed.
Okay, well, I'm really glad that those of you who go to PWIs feel welcomed and have enjoyed your experience thus far. So this is for everybody. What is something that you wish that your university had or did that it doesn't have? Like, what is a school that you were thinking about going to that you wish that you could just take that one thing and put it at your university? Ariel, do you mind starting us off?
Yes, I do. One thing, when I was first deciding on schools, it came down to Towson and Morgan for me. And one thing I loved about Towson was the campus. I loved how it had so many different buildings, the space and everything. So if I could transfer that to Morgan, that'd be perfect. But right now, I still love Morgan. We're cool. So yeah.
Being that I do also go to Morgan, if it's one thing that I wish that Morgan had was just a little bit more diversity. I would say like 90% of the student demographics is Black. So I definitely wish it was more of a mix of different, races and whatnot.
Even though it's the fake HU, I love Hampton's campus. It's gorgeous. They call it their home by the water or whatever. It's a really beautiful campus. I still love the city life and stuff like that and the location of it. Howard's campus is still beautiful, but I would say that in terms of, I would also maybe say more diversity. I think that we're pretty diverse in terms of the different kinds of Black people that we have from different backgrounds. There's the Caribbean culture is there. There's an area on campus that has a Caribbean tree, and sometimes we see the students there, and there's events on campus for that, as well as African students and stuff like that. So we have pretty good diversity, but I think that it's helped me grow to listen to those kind of perspectives. So more of that would be, awesome.
I don't know. I would say Towson is probably one of the most diverse schools I've ever seen that's a PWI. We have so many clubs, from just like African clubs, from like ISA clubs, from it's actually very, very astonishing to me, just looking at a PWI, because you would think of it as it's majority white, so you wouldn't see too many Black people on campus. No, you see lots of Black people on campus. You see, and also another thing too, most of the people from who go to Towson are from PG. So I went to school in PG for high school. So basically just see a lot of people from PG County, that kind of majority Black area. We definitely have a lot of programs and clubs, but I would say one thing I would like to have more of is just better campus sanctioned events. For example, our homecoming, I went to Morgan's homecoming because our homecoming was it just wasn't it. I'm sorry. That's just is what it is. But also Howard's homecoming, y'all's homecoming is crazy. I love that one as well. But yeah, we just I was just say our actually official campus sanctioned events could be better, but I would say Towson does do a pretty good job of just trying to include all the different races and all the different types of backgrounds.
I definitely agree with David, especially in regards to homecoming. I feel as though that is one thing that I do miss. Well, that I feel like I do wish that I went to a HBCU to get that full experience. I think it's a beautiful feeling to see a sea full of our people all in one sanctuary, and I just feel like that's the one thing that I feel like I am missing out on. But other than that, I would also say, if anything, just providing more of um, having more of a presence in regards to for Greek life. Like I think my school, we're a very small Greek life community, and I feel like having more of that experience on campus, that would be a lot of fun as well.
I would also agree with both. Because at VCU I have a good amount of diversity at VCU, and I see more Black people on campus than I do see white people on campus. And they are also really good at including different groups for different races. We have a Filipino American club, we have developing men of color, we have Black Student Union, we have a whole bunch of things to include people. But I will say that I wish I had the energy that Howard Homecoming had, that stomping on the yard type of energy that they come with at VCU, and a little bit more school spirit, the way that Howard and Hampton and even Morgan has. That's something that I'm definitely missing at VCU.
And it's so funny that you guys say that, because the grass is always greener on the other side. I would say the one thing that I wish Howard had, and I think maybe, I don't want to speak for all my HBCU students on here, but administration wise, y'all got it. And I think one thing that I will say is that it builds character, and that's a very, optimistic, positive thing for me to think. But like, to go to financial aid to have problems, for your move-in to be 2 weeks away, and for you to like not have a dorm, and like being so close that I can actually like drive up and be like, hi, like I need housing, what's going on? I really like the fact that I think that you guys can be a little bit more carefree, like your bill is paid, you have your classes, you're set up, and you're good to go. Does anybody have anything to add to that?
I definitely do. I definitely, it builds character. It builds character because for me, my mom, it differs for people from different people's backgrounds, but my mom is really that kind of take charge person that, if she tells me to do something and I don't do it and she's able to do it, she's going to do it for me. Right. And so it's a blessing and a curse. So coming into Howard, where it's like, that's not going to fly. That's not going to work. Like I didn't have to have anybody tell me to do that. I'm just like, okay, I have to do this for myself. And with that, I think it's helped me develop more as a young woman, because in this world, that's what you have to do. You have to take the initiative to get done what you need to get done for you, and not be afraid. So it's helped me be able to look for information on my own, just stand on my own 2 feet and be able to walk into any room that I need to, and assert myself and be able to, achieve whatever it is that I need to achieve. So it's a blessing and a curse. It definitely, everybody's not built for it, but I am.
Okay. All right. So it's college. So we obviously had to talk about academics. Tell me a little bit about what you guys like with your school. I heard a lot of you saying, you had to pick your college based off your major, and it was something that was really important. So what's something that you really like about your academics at your university, or something that you would change? And we're going to start with Justin.
So something I would probably change. So me being an art student, there's a little bit more requirements for us. We're only allowed to miss 2 classes for any reason whatsoever. And that can be kind of frustrating to deal with, because I know a lot of people personally who had to attend family services for family passing, or they may have gotten sick. I've gotten sick several times on campus, and then emailing my teachers. I would even have notes from the school saying that I'm not allowed to attend classes. And one of my teachers almost kicked me out of a class, despite that all my reasons were medical and there was anything I could do about it. Especially, unfortunately, one time catching COVID. And so I had to go into isolation, and they didn't do anything to kind of help me out there. And I had to get the dean of students involved. So that's something that's really frustrating. But when it comes to the general classes at VCU, their scheduling is top tier. I would say. When it comes to counseling, and if you need to switch out classes, you can truly have everything crafted perfectly to your schedule, how you want it to be. And that's something I really appreciate about VCU.
I would say the advising department in Towson is really, really good. I've always had people kind of just like talk to you like at a very personable level, like saying, hey, you know what? I think this major is for you, especially when I tried to switch, because nursing definitely was not for me at all. That's another thing I would say about Towson. If you ever want to take anything like STEM based, don't go to Towson for that. Their science program is not that at all. But I would say if you're looking for business, our business program is like top tier. Like that's what I would say. Business, anything like administrative, tech, anything like in that sort of like realm is really, really good.
For me at my university, originally I was going to major in communications, and coming in as a freshman, I wasn't quite too sure is that the field for me. And I know for my university, they did a lot of career fairs, which I really enjoyed. That way, for someone coming in as an undeclared major, I was able to seek around and see what they have to offer for the different majors on campus. And then I, decided that business was the way to go. And I can't complain on the business side of things. And I would say now being a business major, they offer a lot of great courses. We do like an integrated core where you take 4 integrated core courses together, which consist of statistics and whatnot. But the one thing that I feel like that my university can do a better job, especially for business students, in regards to picking for classes, they pick a small select amount of professors to teach that particular course, which that can be a little challenging, especially when it comes down to selecting your upcoming year for classes.
At Howard, the programs are really excellent. I kind of have different experiences from like a star school to like another school. Communications is, I forget the number, but we produce a lot of Black communications graduates or whatever. I think one of the largest in the country. But first semester of my freshman year, I was a business student, marketing. And there's a 21 CAP program that they have, which is incredible. It's excellent. I know almost everybody that I've met in business, I still keep in contact with, either has an internship or has something lined up. And it's incredible. So how it works is that, you get put into a team, and then that team works closely with a company. And then through that company, you have different tasks or assignments that you would do for them, and you're able to develop a relationship with the liaison for that company. And through them, they will let you know about different internship opportunities and whatever. And every incoming business student goes through that business orientation process. So from the get-go, you have an opportunity to build a relationship directly with the company, which can put you in different positions dependent on how much zeal you have. So if you build a really good connection with that person, and you know that you are interested, especially in that company, it can take you as far as you let it. So that's one thing I really love about Howard's business program. They call it SOB Money Gang. So it is true. They be getting the money. They be getting them opportunities. But as far as communications, I feel like the curriculum, me personally, I loved it. I love the switch. Most people ask me why switch from marketing to advertising when this is the money game. But I truly feel like I'm learning a lot more about communications. When I'm reading through textbooks and chapters and stuff, I'm genuinely interested in kind of like the psychology of, okay, why do we think the way that we do in terms of communicating messages to each other? So for that, I feel like the curriculum is really good. I've had wonderful, great professors. And so my experience with that has been good. My only thing would be having some way to connect us and have that link, like they do for business, for communications, for education. I'm not specifically sure of how the other schools work, but I have heard, the complaints and things like that. So just every school kind of being a star school or being a special school. But yeah, the curriculum is wonderful. The programs are great.
I know for me personally at Morgan, one of the biggest things, like being a biology major, it's not hard to satisfy. Every school has biology. And when I first came there, they had created this program where it's called Fuse, and it allowed me to get one-on-one meetings with like the deans of the biology, the chemistry, physics, and math department bi-weekly. And I really appreciate that because not a lot of people are able to meet with their deans. So I get that one-on-one connection and I really appreciated that. But one thing that I would say, having that close connection is like they kind of discourage you from doing other things on the campus. They feel like you're everything needs to be revolved around STEM. And I don't agree with that. Like me personally, I'm big on entrepreneurship, but that bio is a little bit higher. So I ended up taking like a minor in entrepreneurship because I have my own dessert business on campus. And they kind of was just like, oh, well, we don't really think, that'll be good, may conflict with your major. And I'm like, no, I got it. I know how to schedule my time. So if people could encourage other people to do stuff outside of their major as well, I feel like that'd be very beneficial.
Drew, do you want to say anything or you're good?
I'll just say one quick thing. One thing I really do like about the communications department is the teachers are very like helpful as far as like getting you to the next step when you get out of college, like bringing in people who are already in the industry so you can talk to them and get advice on your own projects. That's one really good thing I feel like Morgan does for communication students. I don't know how it is for business, but I do know a couple of people in the in business administration who already have internships with JP Morgan and other big companies like that. So I do like that about Morgan.
That's great. And for me, I really do love our School of Communications. I have professors who work for Netflix, BET, who work for Marvel. So I think it's really nice. But those counselors, those advisors, they could be just a bit more helpful. It just depends on your situation. So for example, at Howard, I changed from my minor from political science to community development, but community development courses are only offered in the fall. So that meant that this upcoming fall, if I didn't get them, I wouldn't be able to graduate because there was literally no chance for me to take those courses. So you win some, you lose some. But I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about your social experience on campus. If you guys are athletes, I know you guys are entrepreneurs. I know we have some people who are part of Greek life. So what do you guys like about your school socially? And we'll start with Delaney.
All right. As far as for my social life on campus, there are many of different clubs a part of campus. Anywhere from Caribbean organizations on campus, they do a phenomenal job. Also SGA, we have Black Student Union, which they do a phenomenal job hosting events. Also, again, Greek Life, I'm a part of Greek Life on my campus, so we tend to host events within the D9 community on campus, which that is always a fun time. And I'm a cheerleader on campus, so I tend to be out in the community, especially in regards to cheering at the football games. I don't necessarily cheer at the basketball games, that's more for dance. But overall, my experience on a social level at my university is great. Can't complain.
Socially, it's wonderful. I find it very easy in my experience, and most people that I know, it's pretty easy to talk to people. I'm a very extroverted person, so I just talk to people, especially walking around on campus or whatever. It's very, I don't know, it's easy, especially if you have a nice outfit on. If you know HBCU culture, you got to be drippy, enough times out the week. And so you might get a little compliment here, there, or whatever. Especially in the spring when it first got warm, everybody was outside, and like this was like how I knew I had to stay at Howard. It was like there were picnics on the yard, and then there was this guy who was playing the drums sitting down at the Caribbean tree. There was a guy playing guitar in front of the College of Arts and Sciences. There were artists outside of the College of Fine Arts painting, 3 of them painting. And one of those young ladies, her painting got like they made into banners and were put into record stores like across the country where those record stores are. But it was just really cool to see her painting that and then seeing the result of that. There's just so much culture heavy on Howard's campus. And so there's opportunities to connect with people of all different things. I just walked up to her and was like, yo, like, you're super talented. And we just got to talking about, she was a senior, so we just got to talking about different things. And she was asking me about my experience and all those kinds of things. So I would say it's really easy to get social. And in fact, it's essential to be social because it's about networking. Networking is one of the most important things. I would say it's like a three-part, it's three things that go into your experience: the academics, the social life, okay, maybe two. Academics and social life, networking. Your network is your net worth. That is so true. It's not always about what you know, but definitely who you know. So, yeah.
Social. Oh, you got it.
All right, bet. Socially, I feel like Morgan, you definitely have to put yourself out there. You definitely gotta just be yourself. And, you know, don't be afraid to speak up and talk to people because, you know, you never know who you might meet or who you might need later on in life. Like she said, you know, it's just all about connections at the end of the day.
Socially at VCU, you'll find people from all walks of life, all backgrounds, all different types of interests. And for me, I'm interested in a lot of things from sports and being an athlete to gaming, computers, anime, cartoons. Like I can find my people wherever I go. And it's really awesome for me to have that. The only place where socially can be kind of lacking can be sports because I play football and lacrosse, and football, there's a lot of diversity. When I go to play lacrosse, there's not too much, if y'all know the main demographic of lacrosse. So that can be kind of hard to deal with sometimes, being the only person of color or being one of very few. But it's also the type of people that are there. I don't really feel too outside of my comfort area, despite the fact that I'm one of very few. And that's one thing I really appreciate about VCU is like there's a lot of good people there. And I feel really happy with that. And then even with the clubs, like I said before, BSU, Developing Men of Color, we also have Divine Nines on campus, which I will be joining next year. And that's something that's awesome to have for me. I have everything I need socially right then and there.
Yeah, I would say like at Towson, you definitely have like your groups of like people you mainly just like talk to and just hang around. But like it really is like everybody talk to everybody. So like you can just go up to anybody and just say what's up and probably have a cool conversation with them. I would say one thing about like HBCUs that I always kind of like missed at Towson is just the alumni base of like HBCUs is just so, it's just so connected. And I think it's just one of the beauties of HBCUs, just the alumni base and just the connections that you can just get just from being from an HBCU. So that's one thing. I would say Towson though is just very connected. And I would say it's just very, this kind of just has an atmosphere of just kind of just, you can just talk to anybody.
Okay, I would say me and Morgan, I really love it because I feel like everybody has their place. Like, even if you want to be antisocial, it's a club for it. Like, y'all got a group of people. I really love that. Being an entrepreneur on campus, it kind of forced me to get out of my comfort zone and be more social on campus. But, you know, we love a good fried chicken Wednesday, go around, pass out your business cards, all of that. I'm in love with like Greek life and stuff, and I plan on becoming a part of that next semester. So that's definitely going to be in the works, but I'm going to be at other campuses too, like Howard.
Yeah. And so one thing I love about Howard is that there's no type of like Black person. So I live in PG County, but I went to school in Montgomery County. David, you might know, I went to Blake. So my entire life I got the, oh, you're Oreo, you talk like a white person, this is that and the third. And I love Howard because you can go and you could be, you're just Black. You can be Black and love anime. You could be Black and be a nerd. You could, being smart is cool. Like, you know, like I just love that Howard has a space for everybody. There's not a single person who can't find a person for them. But one thing that I will say, I did become a part of Greek life this year, and because my university has most of the original founding sororities and fraternities, it's a whole different ball game. So I will just say that experience was definitely a unique one. I loved it. Would I do it again? Yeah, I guess I would. But just knowing like going to HBCU and especially like Howard, it definitely was a different level of like intenseness that I wasn't really prepared for, even though my mom is an AKA. I just really wasn't expecting all of that. But thank you guys all so much for sharing. I was wondering if you guys like the size of your school. Howard's a pretty like medium-sized school. I think Montclair is too, but I'm not so sure. I think Towson might be on the larger side, but do you guys wish that you guys went to a smaller school? Do you wish your school was a little bit bigger? What do you guys think about that? Anybody can just jump in.
In regards to my school, I would say yes. It is definitely like a medium-sized campus. It's not too small. It's not too large. It's pretty comfortable to be a student at the university at Montclair. I would say for the most part, I'm pretty okay with the size of my campus. I wouldn't necessarily like to go to a small school. I feel like I would definitely like to kind of reach out a little more and go to a school where I don't have to feel like I know everyone. I feel like that will kind of get a little too much for me, especially for me. I'm a very outgoing person, so I love meeting all different kinds of people from all over, different backgrounds and whatnot. And so for the most part, I feel pretty comfortable with the size of my college.
I agree. Yeah, Howard is pretty medium. I feel like it's enough to where you're comfortable enough to, run into people that you know, but also meet somebody new every day, which I love. I think is really important for incoming freshmen, or current junior or rising seniors now in high school who are looking at colleges to definitely take inventory of your own personal personality, because that's something else to take into account is, okay, will you get overwhelmed with a certain size? Because I was also looking at A&T, and to me, A&T is too big. I would feel not necessarily just like a number, it's just too big. I want to be comfortable. It's not necessarily my goal to know everybody, but that alumni that David was talking about, I feel like it can be stronger when you have a general idea of, like who most people are. So I think that that's really comfortable when you go to a medium-sized school.
VCU being a lot larger school than most, at least within the state of Virginia, I think it's within the top 5. I actually really do enjoy that because, again, I enjoy meeting lots of new people. I'm very extroverted. I'm out there, but it's also big enough to where if I really feel like kind of like hiding away somewhere, I can kind of mix myself in with the crowd and not really get noticed too much. But I also find myself seeing like a lot of like, I have my daily run-ins. I have my my normals, my people that are constantly coming around, people that I constantly see daily. And so that starts off a conversation because we see each other. We may make eye contact, but we may not say nothing. But it's like, I see you every day. So I might as well start having a conversation with you at that point, pretty much. And I would definitely say that's tough for me. I love it.
For me personally, I would say Morgan is definitely on like the medium side, and I wouldn't change it. I like how my campus is not too big, but not too small. They're definitely like expanding a lot more, and I love it. But one of the biggest things for me was being family oriented. So with it not being too big, I feel like I still have that connection with my professors. Like they know me one-on-one. The class size, that's definitely big for freshmen when the class size is not too big. So you're able to have that one-on-one connection with your teachers, your peers. That's definitely important. So I would say I love mine right now.
I definitely can agree with you. Morgan is just, I feel like it's the perfect size for real. Like it's big enough where you're seeing different people every day, but at the same time, you can still build that network and kind of like get your face familiar or, meet different people or whatnot.
Definitely. I like the size of Howard. Howard has admitted like the 3 largest classes, like 3 years in a row. So we're constantly getting bigger, which I don't mind. I have my regulars, so it's really nice. But this is the question I'm most excited to ask everybody, because I don't think that it matters if you go to a HBCU or PWI. But what has y'all's experience been like dating on campus? I know we're in our 20s, some people having fun, some people having boyfriends and girlfriends. So if anybody wants to share their experience, what dating is like, and maybe dating just as a person in their early 20s or a person dating at HBCU versus a PWI. If anybody wants to start us off, that'd be great. And if not, I will, but don't let me. Somebody can go.
I can start. I can't speak to an experience at a PWI. Men are men wherever you go. Not to generalize, but I'm just saying. It's an enjoyable experience. I feel like, actually, I was talking about this with my mom today, is the pool of people. I feel like at Howard, just based off of the things that we go through with the administration and also the reasons why we're here, everybody's pretty much there for the same reason. So I even, they may not be the most, make the most, the best decisions in terms of how they treat women in the dating scene, but a lot of them are driven, intelligent, ambitious. The other things are here. The maturity is what they need to catch up on, sometimes. But everybody ain't for everybody anyway. You know what I'm saying? So, one person's dude, how he may act with you may not be how he act with somebody else. So I'm just saying, it's different. It's a lot of room for different things. I've had a good experience, we lit, turn up.
I can agree with Damaris. Is that how you, right? Okay, yes. For me, I'm a 21-year-old. I mean, I'm trying to figure some things out in regards to the dating scene. I wouldn't necessarily say, do I prefer dating a young gentleman from HBCU or a PWI? I mean, I go to a PWI, but I do love an HBCU brother. I mean, I will say it's nothing like seeing a Black man at a HBCU with his head on his shoulder, carrying that swag with him, the intelligence, all the above. I think it's just such a beautiful thing to see. But for the most part, I am dating. I feel like that's the beautiful thing about college, is definitely, exploring, seeing what there is to offer out there, and see who your match is. I feel like that is definitely a great thing about the beauty of college, is when you start dating, you can see what you like and what you don't like.
Dating has definitely been a little bit of an experience being at a PWI, just because of the type of people that you run into on a daily. For me, I am dating. I did end up finding myself within a relationship now from being with who I'm with. And, thankfully, for me personally, someone of color does help a lot more. So I'm glad to have that. But the main thing for me was the maturity level. That is the key thing for me. That will frustrate me to no end. So if I can't have that maturity level and you can't handle situations properly, whether it be between us, whether it be us going out, us being with friends, that's a big no-no for me. I can't do it. So maturity is definitely something that I need. But if you know yourself really well and you take time to know yourself, you know what you want, you know what you need, you know what you won't tolerate, and you're non-negotiable. So having that within college will definitely help you a lot when it comes to dating, because I can be happy with where I'm at.
To piggyback, I'm sorry.
You good.
To piggyback off that, that's facts. Is definitely doing that internal work with getting to know who you are type thing, and not just getting to know who you are, but like really being super self-aware, to be able to be your best version of yourself, to possibly because a lot of people say, oh, I just want to explore, I just want to see, I just want to the only way it can be actually beneficial to your life is if you're coming with like the best version of yourself to grow, to explore, to figure things out. Everybody makes mistakes and stuff, but it's best if you come with a good sense of self and stuff like that, and not to get lost in the sauce, because you can get lost in the sauce, you can get lost in somebody else. So you got to have that kind kind of compass for yourself? Sorry, David.
Yeah, so some people say like go to college single because it's better for the experience, but I wasn't like that. So I actually went to like college with already having a girl, and like I would say it definitely like tested our relationship. I'm not gonna lie to you. So like it wasn't that I was like out cheating or nothing like that, but it was also like a kind of a point for her to like kind of realize that I'm in a big school. I'm out like having fun and stuff, but I'm not like, I'm still grounded, you know? So like, it was kind of a testing point for her as well to see that like, even though I'm out having fun, I'm not gonna like do anything that's really gonna like compromise the relationship or like tear us down, you know? So stuff like that. I would say for relationships in college is just for people who are single, because I've seen this a lot too. You really got to be careful how you treat people because like word does get around. Like no matter how big the school is, no matter how small the school is, like people like will find out about you. You out here like dogging people out, doing some crazy stuff. So like that's really important too.
Yeah, your name can definitely get around on campus because I know some people who I hear about them, but I've never seen their face. And it's because I hear from all my homegirls or all my homeboys that she was out here doing this, he was out here doing that, playing people left and right. And it's like, what are you doing? Just keep it away, do something, go be by yourself for like 2 seconds. That's all I ask. Just because I think you need it right now. So having that level of being grounded helps a lot.
I definitely agree with what everybody has said so far. Just knowing yourself and really having your business together before you step out into the dating world. Because like Damaris said, like you really can get lost in the sauce. There's so much going on. Everybody want to be or look like something. But definitely just taking your time, not forcing anything, and just, going with the flow.
Another thing real quick, and I've been talking a lot, but when it comes to dating in college, I think David touched on it, is with your girl, or for the ladies with your guy or whatever it may be, definitely had a conversation of like, hey, make sure that you're doing what you were doing before you got with me. Make sure that, except for like, going out, cheating and all that stuff, but definitely enjoy yourself. Have freedom, go out, party, have a night out with your girls, have a night out with your boys, because that's what you were doing to enjoy yourself before I came around. Just obviously, as we said before, keep it grounded, keep it level, and keep it cool. But it should definitely not be prohibiting in any way just by you being in a relationship.
Okay, real quick, just because he brought up a good point, is making sure that, okay, you may not be together, you may not have that boyfriend girlfriend label, you might be messing with somebody, get a little in the side, whatever, but sometimes maybe feelings get involved, they get a little too deep, and then next thing you know, you're not making your 8 a.m.s, you're not turning in your assignments, you're not going to your office hours like you scheduled, you're staying over longer than you need to be, and it's a detriment to your academics. So that's one of the largest things, is you got to make sure that you're straight. You have to make sure that you remember why you're at school, and it's definitely them academics, because missing them meetings and missing them classes, girl, that's not what you're about. Come on, bro, come on.
Go ahead, Ariel. I want to hear from Ariel just real quick.
All right. So as I was going to say, I just finished my first year of school, and I came into college with me and my dude, and we was doing good at first, but I'm be honest, temptation, it was an issue for both of us. We had to set them boundaries, figure out what worked, what didn't. It was a lot of stuff that I experienced. I was just like, oh, wow. But then I also found myself like hanging around each other too much. I'm like, now I'm getting tired of you. I want you to go home. I don't want you to hit 24/7. You get what I'm saying? So it's a lot that comes with relationships, but it's definitely good to have that person you can talk to every day. When I don't feel like hanging out with friends, hey, come over. I'm tired. I want to talk, that type of thing. So, I mean, I like relationships in college so far.
Delaney, did you want to say something?
Pretty much, I mean, what everyone is saying is totally 100% what I agree with, but just communication. I feel like that's another thing too that I didn't bring up. I feel like overall with dating in college, if you don't have that communication with one another, if you're both on the same page, that's where, things can get a little confuzzled. And I think just having that, communication and trust. That's very essential, especially in regards to dating.
I definitely agree. I have a boyfriend, which has been really nice, but we started off as friends. So never underestimate a friend. And I think the fact that we were friends first is reasons why we'd be like, oh, to Justin's point, like, he's going out with his friends. We have shared friends. I trust him, his friends, they do what they do, it's all cool. And then also definitely like being able, before him and I started dating, being able to date in healthy situations. I think a lot of people in high school, maybe people try to be too grown too fast and people end up in situations that they don't want to be in. So I really enjoy going to college and be like, oh, well, I know how I want to be treated and I like this and I don't like this. So definitely to everybody who's watching, date first, have your little expectations. It's nice to go on dates, but it's also, nice to do you at the same time. Anybody else have anything to add to that? No? Okay. Does anybody have anything that they want to say overall about their experience in college? Is anybody sad for us seniors? Are y'all ready to leave your bubble? How are you guys feeling? I'm not quite ready, but maybe y'all are.
I'm excited for the next chapter of life. I feel like, college is fun and whatnot, but I'm excited to see what else there is in store for the future.
I'm really excited. I'm pretty new. You guys are seniors. I'm a rising sophomore now, so I have I have years left, which I'm so excited for. It's been incredible my freshman year, so I'm so eager to get back, Xing off the days, counting the days till August. Yeah, I'm really excited, and yeah.
Alrighty, well, if nobody has anything else to add, I just wanted to thank you guys so much for being on the show today. All of your opinions were very valid. I'm happy to know that we're all enjoying our experience, regardless of if we go to a HBCU and a PWI, because all that matters is that we graduate. So with that being said, to everybody who's at home watching, be sure to check out inreachinc.org for more information related to this topic, upcoming events, and information about things going on in Prince George's County. And we will see you guys next time. Thank you.